Do you have a story that you just love, one you could listen to over and over and you want to share it with your friends because it's just so good? Well, there once was a story so great, so incredible, that even heaven could not keep it in. That story was God's love for us. It was so big and incredible, it could not be kept in. But people didn't know what to do with such an amazing story. Sometimes it was too big of a story to tell. Too big of a story to share. Sometimes they didn't think they deserved to hear such a story. Sometimes they didn't think others deserved to hear such a great story. So the people tried to contain the story. They made rules about the story. They made places to hold the story, and they made places where the story was not allowed to be shared. But God's story was too big for that, because God wanted everyone to know His love for us. So God sent His story to earth, to live on earth and to be shared with people in all of the places. The ones where the story was allowed, and in the places where the story was not allowed. Jesus was God's living story, living here on earth. Jesus was God's great story of life and love that could not be kept in. But some people didn't like the story. Some people thought the story should follow the rules and stay in the spaces where the story was allowed to be. And some people thought that the living story didn't sound like the story that they had heard and that they had made rules up to protect. Some people thought that the story was wrong and they thought it should be stopped. And so they stopped the story. They killed Jesus, the living story, and they buried him in a tomb. 3 days later, Jesus' friends, both named Mary, went to the tomb, the place where the story that they loved so much had ended. They didn't know what their lives would be like without that wonderful story. But do you remember? This story has not been contained by the heavens or by rules and laws. And today we see that even a tomb could not stop the story. The tomb was empty and the story they loved so much had not ended. It was alive again. Jesus was alive, and the story was once again offering God's love and now new life to the world. God's love for us through His Son Jesus is a story that does not end. It's too good to be contained. It's so good, we have to share it. So happy Easter, friends!